Obviously, that was a very depleted roster, but in every game you talk about how your teams can take steps forward, can show growth. So what did you see, even against a team in that situation, that you feel portends well going ahead for your team?
Right. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways you could approach this game, but there was a professionalism from our part, and an energy and an intentionality, and that's really what we're aiming for right now. It doesn't guarantee you get the results you want, but you stack those kind of minutes, possessions, quarters, games, and then you start to build those habits, and hopefully that becomes more who you are. But that was encouraging to see us be able to sustain that kind of energy and intentionality throughout the course of the game.
You always talk about staying ready. How pleasing is it to see what Thomas has done in the stretch, and Haywood too?
Yeah, they're both playing their best basketball right now. It really is encouraging to see. You're happy for those guys. I get to see them behind the scenes. They put so much into this, and earlier on in the year, because we had our depth, they didn't know necessarily whether they're going to play every single night, but they stayed the course. They continued to stay ready and then also improve. So when they got their opportunities, they were ready for the opportunity, and then were able to, produce and be better for the team than, at the start of the season. And that's what you hope for everybody, but not everybody approaches that during a long NBA season when you're not necessarily getting what you want. It's the long game. It's the not searching for instant gratification, and you're just really happy, for those guys. They're pros, and they're playing really well right now.
Erik, we saw that one possession where Point Bam desperately was trying to get that 10th assist so he can get out, and eventually you just had to pull the curtain with a minute to go in the third. What's sort of the balance and the fine line there where the guy's one unit away from a triple-double, but health is also okay?
Yeah, look, I don't want to be a total buzzkill, out there. I want the guys to have fun, and that was a fun moment. I think Patty's going to owe him a lunch or a coffee or a bottle of wine or for something. We tried to run one action for it. I thought he got a good, clean look at it. He actually had a second play. I told him to get one crack at it, and then I don't think Patty finished his cut, and Bam led him, and I think it would have been a tough layup, but there was another opportunity for that. But ultimately, look, we're not playing for stats, and the way our season has gone, with all the injuries and missed games, I also have to be responsible as the head coach.
Another game where Bam hits 2 threes. I just want to ask you in terms of do you think there's going to be a point soon where you start to see coverages shift a little bit?
No, probably not this year, but
right.
We're going to look back.
If it does, I mean, what would that open up, I think, for the offense?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be a cool thing to explore, for sure. I think it'll take some time before schemes change from other teams. Teams are always going to, right now, play off of them just because of all the other things that it can create. The passing angles, the drives, the aggressiveness, all of that stuff. But we're probably going to look back on this, 4 or 5 years from now and not even remember that these were those kind of discussions. And that's the exciting thing about Bam. Every single year, he just continues to add, and that's a credit to his work ethic, and having the right environment where he can explore, new things within the context of the team. All right, thank you.
Come into the room.